Hey guys, welcome to Unit 5. This is 5.1 and we are going to start logarithm. And your warm-up for today, this is 5.1. The warm-up is, can you convert this exponential equation into a logarithmic form? So this is something you guys are familiar with, okay? And I'm just going to go back real quick. A times b raised to the x. Do you see that right there? So basically these are just switch. So how would you guys go about writing this in logarithmic form? So before you start, let's talk a little bit about a few things. I'm going to rewrite this. You have your base, okay, and you raise it to the x power. That gives you your y. Do you see that right there? That's what I have. What is your base? Your base here is a 10. Raised to the x equals 500. I think of it as saying bxy. Now, to rewrite it in log form, you write the word log. The base goes down here. Right next to it is the y equals your x. And sometimes it helps if you see how it goes. Base to the x is equal to y. It's another way you solve for your exponential. So how would you go about rewriting this? Your base is b, your x is, right there is an exponent, x is an exponent, your independent variable, this is your y. So how would you go about writing this? You write the word log. The base is 10. Notice I go a little lower. Same line as log, there's your y, which is number 500, equals your x. It's a way for you to solve for x, okay? And we'll talk a little bit more about how you would type all that into the calculator. So 10 to what power is 500? And for me to solve, I'm going to use x. So that's how you would go about rewriting it in log form. And that's what you guys are going to learn today. All right. So take a moment and I want you to fill this part out, okay? You can pause right now, use your calculator. So you need to know some of these powers to help you. And the way you do is you just go 2 raised to the 0 is 1. 2 to the first power is 2. 2 squared, 4, 3 squared, 8, 4 squared, 16, and so forth. So take a moment and fill this out because this chart is going to be your best friend. Okay? Same thing. Notice everything to the 0 power is 1. Just like that. Alright, so go ahead and fill this out. And 10 squared is 10. Sorry, 10 to the first is 10. 10 squared is 100, 1,000, and so forth. So pause right now and fill this out on your sheet because it will help you a lot and you're going to refer back to it quite a bit in helping you solve for perfect exponents. Okay, pause. Alrighty. So today's assignment is 5-1, Properties of Logarithms. Your objectives: students will be able to rewrite expressions from an exponentials to a logarithmic and vice versa. So you're going to learn to write the base to the x equals y. And I want to solve for the exponent. And on the calculator, last unit, you guys did the y equal. You would type it in and do second table. From here, we're going to learn to find it exactly. So how would you go about writing that? Your log. So if I'm solving for exponent, I'm going to use log because that's an inverse of each other. Okay, so these are inverses. Your base goes here, the y goes here, and the x goes here. B to the x, y. See that? You're just rewriting it. Okay? All right, so let's recap. The problem is a lack of ability to solve algebraically when x is the exponent, but there is a way, and that is called logarithms. Knowing how to rewrite exponents into logs for short can help us make the process rather simple. So if you're trying to solve for x, see how you can solve for x right here? Isolating the x. So before we start, we need to know a few things, okay? You need to learn how to rewrite them. So let's take a look. You need to be able to rewrite an exponential function into logarithm. At this point, let's focus on memorization of each number's location. Your base is a 3, 2 is your exponent, y is 3. 3 squared is 9. So how would you write that? There's your base, there's the y, there's the x. 3 squared equals 9. See it? And the way you would say this is log base 3 of 9 is equal to 2. And that's how you would say it. Log base 3 of 9 is equal to 2. Okay? All right. Same thing here. Here's your base. There's the x equals 64. There's your y. Okay? Here's your base. There's the x. There's the y. So you got to know how to go back and forth. All right. And what it does is it helps you to find it in the calculator. Notice there's logs and then there's natural logs, and we're going to use those in this unit. So let's help us remember. Okay, here's your base, here's the x, here's the y. Rewriting it, log base by equals x. Think of by, by, log by. Okay, so think of acronyms that'll help you try to remember them, but that's the easiest way to do it. All right. It helps to remember logarithm as simply the inverse of an exponential form. Key word. They're opposite each other, like opposite of adding is subtracting, opposite of multiplying is dividing. When you add, the inverse is subtraction. When you multiply, the inverse is division. When you square something, the inverse is the square root. So when you raise a number to the x power, which is now the exponent, the inverse is a logarithm. All right. So let's practice a little bit, okay? Notice, this is written in exponential form because there's not a word log in it. So I want you to write it as in log. Log, what's your base? 4 of 16 equals x. See that right there? I don't want you to solve. I just want you to write. Next one, that's exponential form because there's no log in the word. So log base 3 of 81 is equal to x. And you can type this in and find out what that exponent is. Log base 2 of 64 is equal to x. Okay. Log base 6 of 1 is equal to x. See, I'm just rewriting it. Log base 5 of 5 is equal to 1. Oops, sorry, x is 1. But I want you to write x. Log base 2 of x is equal to 8. Notice I switched it around because there's no log in here. Log base x of 100 is equal to 2. Okay? And that's how you would do it, just like that. You're just learning to rewrite. You're not solving. Notice all of these have logs. So I need to rewrite that in exponential form. And to know that, you have to know what the base is. So let's take a look. What is your base? 3 raised to the x equals 27. Because there's your y, there's your b. Base of 4 raised to the x is equal to 16. Notice how this helps me, but another way helps you, do it the other way. Next one, now take a look. This one doesn't have a base, and there's not a base, it's understood to be a 10, okay? So 10 to the x equals 1,000. So if you got a log, rewrite it without the log, okay? 8 to the x is equal to 8. Base is x to the 4th is equal to 16. See, I just got rid of the word log, okay? X to the 3rd is equal to 125. Base is 3 to the x equals 9. Just like that. All right. So this one is an exponential, so you rewrite it in logs. This one is in log. Inverse of that is exponential. That is pretty much your 5.1 lesson. Good luck. I think you guys will do great on these, okay? We are going to move on to 5.2.